Evening, evening, evening. Look at that. Look how red I am on camera. I've been running around like a crazy man trying to set up a live broadcast at 9 p.m. on a Monday night. Oh, is everybody? Are you all right? Massive shout out to those who are listening on the audio experience, on the replay. If you're watching on YouTube, on the replay, massively appreciate you being here. See, Steve Connolly's just joined us on Facebook as well. Alex Hewitt is here on Twitter, along with Helen Lewis as well, has just jumped on. You look quite tanned, Ross. Oh, it's not. It's just that's just high blood pressure, that, Fanny, after doing jury service today. And then the train's been on strike. Then I have to get home, catch up on all the work that I should have been doing whilst I was out of the house from like 8 o'clock this morning until 6, and then get ready for a live broadcast tonight. But I feel like I can breathe again now. I'm like, oh, as soon as I hit that live button, the stress goes away. It's just getting to that point where I'm like, right, come on, let's get this thing sorted. Don't want to let you guys down and be late or anything. Evening, Steve says Happy New Year, everybody. Evening, Steve. Happy New Year back to you. Sarah Hosford has just joined us on Twitter as well. So tonight, really, guys, is the first open mic Q&A of the year. Basically, the first Monday session of the year on these live broadcasts. We always dedicate to like just a general chat, effectively. I really like these because I don't know what direction they're going to go in, what we're going to talk about, what problems you guys might have or what you need help with, and how we can all kind of help each other. So any topics you want to talk about, start putting your comments in the comments on Facebook, or start sending your messages through on Periscope or on Twitter as well. Couple of things to mention. Oh, before I forget, I've just literally posted over on actonthis.tv an article, a little blog post that says this Thursday night, okay, so that's going to be the 11th of January 2018 for those listening on the replay, over on actonthis.tv, I'm hosting a live Q&A on casting with one of the country's top casting directors in comedy, an amazing lady called Nikki Bly. She's so nice. Nikki is so incredibly nice, but she casts some of the biggest comedies out there, things like Mrs. Brown's Boys. Who's a fan of Mrs. Brown's Boys? Anyone in the house? I think it's very, very good. Ricky Gervais's Extras, Mount Pleasant, Psychoville, Living the Dream. She's done so much over the years. If you go to IMDb and just search for Nikki Bly, NICKYBLIGH, you can check her out on that. See what she's done. But she's going to be joining us live on Thursday evening at 7:30 for all premium members of Acts on This. You'll be able to get access to this. And again, like this, it's going to be similar setup to what you're doing now. You're going to be watching us on video, asking your questions live, and getting answers from the comfort of your own home on anything you want to ask on comedy casting, or acting, auditioning, marketing, whatever you like. Premium membership, for those who don't know, is £10 a month. The money raised from premium membership goes to charities, so Nikki gets a charity donation for doing this, as does every guest. So not only do you help yourself, support me and the community, but you help me help others as well, which I think is really worthwhile, because the charity donations go to super little charities as well. Sometimes they go to the big ones if the guest like asks that, but a lot of guests really want them to go to like small charities that don't normally get the support. So we're talking like local children's homes, disabled theatre workshops for kids and stuff like that. It's really, really worthwhile doing. So if you want to join in on that on Thursday night, actonthis.tv, you'll see it right now, how you can join. Get your premium membership if you've not already got one, and we'll have a great time. Someone just said, how does jury service work in terms of getting paid when you're self-employed? So this is an interesting one. All there's a lot on here. Most of us are actors. You're all going to be self-employed. It doesn't work out that well. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So what you've got to do is you've got to get to your accountant, whoever does your accounts, or if you're doing them yourself, you've got to get a previous tax return from the year before. You've got to work out from your taxable profit from the year before. You divide that by the number of working days in the year, and you'll come up with a net daily rate, effectively, of how much you get paid. Now, it doesn't matter. Say, for instance, you came up with a sum that was like 150 or 200 quid. Unfortunately, you don't get that daily rate as a juror. I think it's capped at around about 65 quid a day, with a £5.97p subsistence little payment for your dinner and your train fare. So it's not great money. I guess it's got to work out at like minimum wage. You know, if you're employed, your employer can still pay you actually if they choose to, but if not, the courts pay you this minimum. But it's 2 weeks minimum service, and yeah, it can be financially detrimental. But it's your civic duty. You've got to do it. You can defer it once if it's not convenient to do it when you get it through initially. But I just thought, what's the point? There's never going to be a right time, as there isn't anything in life. There's never a right time really for anything, so might as well just do it. But it's come at a time where I'm buying an apartment, I'm doing 78 episodes of an animation, I'm launching Master of Monocle, the clothing line, I'm running this business. It's just not a convenient time, but it's never going to be, is it? So you've just got to get stuck in. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Gary said something about Surviving Actors. So for those who don't know, Surviving Actors is a exhibition that runs once a year in London. It used to be in London and Manchester, but it's finished now in Manchester. And it's going to be held on the 3rd of February, which is like 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks, down in London, at the Savoy Hotel, I think it is. Or what is it? Is it? No, it can't be. No, the Savoy's very posh, isn't it? Where have I got that from? It's a hotel in London. What is it? I'm going to find out exactly now what it is on online. And it's the 3rd of February, and I'm going to be speaking there. It's a free event for actors to go to, and there's seminars and stuff that aren't free where you pay something like £7 or something to attend those, but it's got some pretty good events this year, and I'm going to be talking all about mindset at this coming up event. So let me have a look, see, I think it's the Radisson Blu in it, I think, maybe. Where have I got all these hotel names from? Let me see where it is in London 2018. I should know this. I've just written an article for the programme, so I definitely should know this, but I'm losing my... Radisson Blu. Radisson Blu Portman Hotel. Why did I say Savoy? That's like proper mega posh, isn't it? I don't think they're going to hold it there. So yeah, that's going to be held on the 3rd of February. If you go to survivingactors.com, you can reserve a ticket for free, and you can have a look at all the seminars and stuff that they're doing there as well. You will find mine there. I'm talking at 3:45, I think, till 4:30. It's about 45 minutes. It's a chat. We're going to be talking all about mindset, basically, and the importance of developing and controlling your, a positive mindset effectively for this industry, which is absolutely bloody critical. It's what we talk about on every single one of these broadcasts. So if you don't know that by now, that's exactly what we're about. Mark Joseph has just joined on Facebook. So what do you want to chat about, guys? What's been going on in your lives and your careers? We had a great meet-up on Saturday in Manchester for those who are in the north, and I know you guys in the south did an act on this meet-up on Saturday as well. Spoke about loads of stuff and goals and what people want to achieve this year and how they can achieve them. And a lot of people, actually, one thing that came up again and again was people like, how do I network? Like, I understand I need to be doing more of it, but how do I network with people of influence in the industry? And they didn't really understand, again, how you can do this really easily via social media. And people are like, well, how can I add value? Because I was about adding value to people's lives. Like, how can I add value to someone if I don't know them? I'm like, it's really simple. By supporting what people are doing via social media, that's you adding massive value to their lives and their careers. So if a director, for instance, has just directed one episode of a top drama, and you make sure you know who's who in this industry, so you're following them on Twitter and Instagram. And obviously, I promise you, the night that goes out, or for a week before that goes out, they will be promoting themselves via social media. For you to add value to them and their lives and make them like you and want to use the power of reciprocity that we've spoken about so many times on these broadcasts, you need to be getting out of your little fearful comfort zone that you're in, going, oh, I can't remember, I'm not, who am I to interact with this person, or I can't remember what to do or what to write or whatever. Just retweet a quote of their tweet saying, what they're doing, and just support them on it. Go, really looking forward to this. This is awesome. Can't wait, blah, blah, blah. And just help them promote their work. It will go down an absolute treat. It's one way that you can get your name around and in front of people, and actually by doing a really positive thing. I made the big decision today to quit my radio show to focus on my writing and acting project, says Kim. I know you've been doing that for a while, Kim. So good on you. If that's something you want to change your direction, that's something to get what you've never had. You've got to do something you've never done. If you've always done radio, do something else. Good on you. Happy New Year. Sophie's just joined us on Facebook as well. I want to be a big actor in capital letters, says John Fisk. What are you going to do this year to make that happen, John? Let us know what your plans are and if the community can support you with anything. So yeah, that was something that came up at the meetup we had on Saturday in terms of just supporting people of influence within this industry. Brian's just joined us as well, and so is another Brian. Two Brians have just jumped on Periscope. So anyone else got any kind of things going on in their lives, concerns, or I know Fanny, you put your music on iTunes today, didn't you? Got someone else who made a decision to quit their radio show to focus on writing and acting. Is everyone doing radio shows on here or what? So yeah, Fanny put one of her goals, I think, for last year was to record some songs, some music, and get that up on iTunes. And I noticed you posted in the Facebook group before, Fanny, that became a reality today. So good on you for that. That's pretty impressive. If anybody else wants to do something like that and needs some help, if anybody wants to do a podcast, this is something that I can help people with. If anyone wants to do a podcast and get that on iTunes, in a certain area of life, don't have to be anything to do with acting. Maybe you're, really into your fitness and stuff like that, and you're like, you know what, I'd really like a creative outlet to record a podcast on something I'm interested in. Hit me up, because I know all about that. And if you want to record music and get it on iTunes, Fanny's your girl. James David Hill has just joined us on Facebook as well. All right, James. James, what are you up to this year? Let us know what you're working on. You're always busy with something. And Don says, well done, Fanny, on the music. No, it is good. It's amazing when you take something. I remember seeing, my podcast first go up on iTunes. And because Apple is like such an established brand, you're like, how on earth can I distribute something on such a big platform? It's actually nowhere near as difficult as you would imagine. And anybody, as long as they follow a few, basic protocols to fit inside the guidelines that Apple put down, anybody can do it. So don't think that, you're not good enough to do that. Myself and my friend are trying to create a website, blog, vlog, and podcast, says Kim. What on, Kim? Let us know. Alex Hewitt's just created a website for actors as well, haven't you, Alex? Let us know what that is. I know that's something that you're looking to develop as well. Brian's just got some new headshots done and sent cards to all casting directors. Good start to the year, Brian. Good on you for that. It frazzled me. Ross, still filling out forms, says Fanny. It is just basic form filling in, isn't it? To get something distributed on iTunes and stuff, it is a lot of just filling forms in and making sure you fit the criteria. So yeah, logistically, you've got a few things to do, but it's not difficult. It's just a bit of a slog in terms of, like, you've got to just tick a few boxes. I just enrolled in a yoga course, says James. Nice for complete beginners. I have never underestimated something more than I did yoga the first time I did it. Seriously, one of a friend of mine had a yoga class, and she was like, oh, it's at the gym that I work out at. You should come to the class. And I completely underestimated. I'm going to admit, I think I was probably a little bit sexist in a way, and thought, this is a few years ago, yoga, that's something Madonna does, isn't it? That's just for girls. I'm going to go and work out my arms first, do a big bicep workout, and then I'll go and do yoga. Worst mistake of my life. I was absolutely annihilated by about 25 women in this class, and I think I was the only bloke in there. Within 2 minutes, I was destroyed. I've never sweated so much in my life, stood still. Very embarrassing, and I completely deserved it. So yeah, fair play, James. You're going to experience hell with yoga there. Sophie says, got my last 2 terms at college this year. Very exciting year. Next part of my journey as a person and as a performer. Acts on This is brilliant help. Nice one, Sophie. Yeah, honestly, like, God, if I had Acts on This.tv when I was at drama school, it's why I created it, because drama school's all great in terms of teaching you how to act and teaching you the craft and, the technique. But my God, like, it doesn't teach you anything about the business whatsoever. It just doesn't. Hardly any casting directors came in to talk to us. Spotlight came in for about 5 minutes, basically to go, give us all your money and sign up for Spotlight. That was about as much support as they gave us. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just going to block some robot on Periscope. I've realised what happened. There's a few robots knocking around who copy and paste original comments and then put, like, a kiss at the end of it with, like, an emoji of lips. And they're like these dodgy channels. If you notice the avatar of that woman, for those on the audio experience, this will mean nothing to you at all. I think she was in some sort of sexy lingerie. It's definitely some kind of, like, robot from the internet. So I've just banned them. Don't worry about that. James has got to run. Just wanted to say hello. Really looking forward to it. Much love. Nice one, James. Enjoy yoga, man. Gary says made a film talking about writing. Made a film of me talking about writing before end of last year. Who did that, Gary? Someone made a film of you talking about writing. Because that'd be interesting for any other people who want to get into writing. But yeah, my original point was drama school didn't prepare you at all for this industry whatsoever, business-wise. So that was why I created actonthis.tv, to basically get the people who are going to be the ones giving you jobs in front of a microphone or a camera to basically tell you how to do it. And still to this day, I don't think drama schools, from what I'm hearing, people who are there at the moment, are preparing people as business people. Because I don't think you can just, unless you're very lucky and you're so talented, people who are very good at business just basically, pluck you out of wherever you are and guide you and manage you. You've got to develop business now in life, I think, just to get by. The whole life really is, sell or be sold. you're always either selling something or yourself, or you are being sold something every minute of every day. So if you can develop good business sense, you will do better at life, I think. So Gary says, yeah, I filmed me talking about writing to release for free, thinking about putting a course out on Udemy. Awesome, man. Gary, that's really good. Really, really good. I think like this is the whole reason I created Bulletproof Actor was because I had so much kind of info and opinion and experience with positive psychology. Yeah, I wanted to create a course around that. And again, that's going to be launching in the middle of February. If anyone really wants to work on their mindset this year, go to bulletproofactor.com and check that out. But online courses, Gary, are just like, it's such a massive, massive industry. And people think that they're never like good enough to create a course. Who am I to create a program? And really, you only need to be one step, I said this before, one step ahead of the people you are teaching to be an expert in that thing. So if you are one step ahead of the people you are aiming to coach, then that's enough, man. And you'll have mentors who are above you, and you'll learn from them, and then thus your game's going to increase more and more. And as you teach people below you, their game increases. But as long as you're always one step ahead, then you're always going to have an audience, man. Richard Haler, all the way from Miami, is here. He says, I'm here. Hello, all. All right, Rich, how you doing? How is Miami? Let us know how you're doing over there. We're doing a bit of open mic Q&A, Rich. Anything goes, mate. I'm going to be interviewing, you missed it, but I'm going to be interviewing Nikki Bly, the comedy casting director for Mrs. Brown's Boys and Ricky Gervais's Extras and Psychoville, and what else has she done? Let me get her. You know what? Let's have a look. Let me get her IMDb up. I'll read it to you. Let's see what Nikki has been doing over the last year or so. Let's have a look. Nikki Bly IMDb. Here we go. I'll share this with you guys as well. I should be able to share my screen, I think. So, what have we got? Living the Dream. That was a brand new comedy with Leslie Sharp in it. We've got Mount Pleasant there. You will have seen, I'm sure. There's been so many series of Mount Pleasant. Mrs. Brown's Boys, Drunk History UK. I don't know what that is. Sounds very interesting, though. BBC Comedy Feeds, Boomers, Together, Ballot Monkeys, Psycho Bitches. Bad Education, that was Jack Whitehall's programme, wasn't it? Bluestone 42, very good. That was an army programme. Very, very funny. That was a few years ago. Little Crackers, Psychoville, White Van Man. That was... White Van Man, that was What's-His-Face's show, wasn't it? I can't remember his name. I'll look at the cast in that in a minute. He wrote it himself. Ideal, that's with Johnny Vegas, I think. Scallywagger, 2 pints of lager and a packet of Chris. Extras. All kinds of stuff over the years. I'm going to, it's going to do my head in that. I'm going to find out who wrote White Van Man. What's his name? He was in 2 pints of lager and a packet of Chris as well. Will Mellor, there you go. So on Thursday night, Rich, our time, UK, at 7:30. Don't know what time that's going to be for you in the States. Nikki's going to be live for a live Q&A. People can jump on and ask any questions they want about the industry, about casting, marketing, anything you like. Nikki Bly's on my goals list for this year, says Lowry. There you go. Well, it's meant to be, wasn't it? You're going to be one step closer to getting in front of her if you join us on Thursday evening. Miami's wet at the moment. Nikki Bly, excellent. I contacted her when I was over last. Rich flew over from the States last year. She's lovely though. Honestly, she's so nice, so supportive. Like, everybody should jump on that and not be afraid to ask whatever questions you want, because she'll just answer anything. She sounds a pound. A little bit nervous about being in front of the camera. Probably going to just dial in via the phone, I think. But she's great, really, really good woman, and a force for good in this industry, looking for new people, not just the usual faces. She's always looking for new talent and stuff. So if you think you're a dab hand at comedy, get yourself over for that. So what else is going on? Give me some other comments or questions people might have. How's everybody doing on Instagram? I'm going hard on Instagram this year. I've said it before, and I don't think I've gone as hard as I could do. This year, I definitely am. I'm doing more and more Instagram. I'm seeing people getting into contact with people on Instagram and getting replies from direct messages from really influential people in this industry. Lee Petcher, my cameraman, was talking to Russell T Davis on Twitter and on Instagram the other day. getting responses from people and support. It's a totally untapped resource, you know. There's only us lot who talk about it. I'm sure there is. Other people just think in the acting industry that Instagram's bullshit and just for taking selfies. It just isn't. It's all going down in the DM on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, register. Those in the audio experience, register. Follow at Acts on This TV. Follow me, Ross A. Grant. I will follow you back and be your first follower if you want, if you just lead a follower now and again. My daughter just walked downstairs and said, "Is that Ross talking?" This is funny. Amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. Brilliant to say, yes, it is. He says, I mean, what time is it? He says, get to bed. It's time for bed. Get up early in the morning. Get hustling. How old is she now? about 3? Something like that. That's amazing. Luke's here on Twitter. So yeah, anyone got any concerns? Anything they want to achieve this year? Anyone want any email addresses for anybody? What programs are you aiming at getting this year? What are you aiming to do? I'm aiming absolutely to do my Horizon documentary this year. That's absolutely top of my list. Caroline's here as well for the BBC. That's definitely, I think that's going to help. That for me, I'm hoping a documentary like that on my eye condition and other degenerative diseases, that's what we want to do it on, will hopefully be a gateway to working on other projects. This is what I think some people like, well, that I'm hoping for anyway, but I don't think a lot of other people kind of get sometimes, is that you don't need to, there's different ways to skin a cat, isn't there? You know, in terms of to get an acting gig, you often don't have to apply for every acting gig. You can get acting gigs off the back of other stuff, being successful in other areas and being invited for that expertise. For instance, I know a lot of people who are, a lot of actors who get pissed off at people who have had success in other areas, like business, for instance, people like Alan Sugar, all those, you know, big names in other businesses, and then they get their own shows and like, it's unfair. Why are they getting their show? They're not, you know, I mean, they're not actors, of course they're not. Comedians who do very well in stand-up comedy very often get, you know, decent parts in other shows. And like, it's not fair, they're not even an actor, they're a comedian. It's like, that's the game, innit? It doesn't always work like that. So I'm hoping for me, presenting will be one way for me to kind of, you know, open more doors in various corporations. Rich says, Michael Hyatt's book arrived. I'm getting into it, starting revamping my website to be used as an EPK for my agent to send to CDs. An EPK, as far as I know, is an electronic press kit. For those who don't know what an EPK is, normally you have an EPK for a film or a project that you've been working on, and that's the press kit that you would send out to promote your stuff. I think it's useful, Rich. Having everything in one place is probably pretty useful, man. I don't think you need a super complex website as an actor, but I think, you know, having some kind of web presence is good. I've kicked against it for the last couple of years because I've been like, well, you know what, I've got my Spotlight profile, but as I'm doing more different things, not just acting, I'm working on a website right now, actually, for myself. I'm running improv workshops with thinking actors too this year, says Fanny. Definitely a good move. Anything you can do to raise your profile in the world is going to have a decent impact on your life and your acting career, because you will be known for generally just, you know, being good at stuff. You know, it doesn't have to just be acting for you to get opportunities within this industry. It just doesn't. You know, Gary, man, you know, you're writing a lot. Keep doing that. You can give us all jobs, mate, when your writing gets commissioned by somebody big. Fanny says exactly. I just think the more creative you can be, just the better. The more multi-dimensional you can be as an actor and as a person, the more fulfilled you're going to feel as well, I think, without a doubt. I think I missed a comment. Who put a comment up a minute ago? Alex, did you write something? Alex Hewitt, or was that? I don't know if someone asked a question. I can't remember who it was, but it just faded before I could read it. Let me know. Write it again if you did. Squarespace is supposed to be good for websites. Yeah, if you're not a coder, Squarespace definitely is worth looking at. Hosted WordPress sites are worth looking at in terms of you not having to kind of code the back end of it. So in terms of setting up, yeah, let's talk about websites for a second and how you would set those up. So WordPress is what I build all of my websites on completely. Now, there's 2 versions of WordPress, and this is what confuses people. If you go to wordpress.com, you will find a WordPress-like service where you can effectively buy a ready hosted website. built on the software called WordPress, and it's actually hosted for you, so all the security is done for you. You can link your own web domain, to it, all this kind of stuff. So a lot of the technical work is kind of done. You then basically create a website built via the tools that WordPress.com give you. It's quite visual. It's relatively straightforward. There's not a lot of stuff to worry about in terms of maintaining the website, but you are limited then because you are basically building a website on somebody else's framework. Now, WordPress.org is that software that WordPress.com use to build their hosted websites, but they will give you that software for free for you to go and put on your own server somewhere, and then that gives you complete free reign over everything on that website, and you can then build stuff and use extra software and things on your own website that you couldn't integrate with that hosted version on WordPress.com. So all my websites are built on WordPress.org because I want free reign over everything. But it does mean that I then have to employ a web developer, a server manager who actually manages all the technical side of stuff for me, and particularly security, which is a massive, massive thing. I had 146 attacks on my website on actonthis.tv yesterday from some unknown server in Amsterdam, and you're up against that all the time. Some Chinese servers have tried to hack actonthis.tv over 650 times in the last month. We've got incredible security and a very good team of managers who deal with all that, but that's kind of what you're up against. So it's not something like people often think once they built a website, that's it, done, never have to look at it again. If you knew how many hours I spend behind the scenes effectively updating software and just making actonthis.tv continue to run without any new content going on it, it's insane. Sometimes I can spend 6 hours maintaining the back end of actonthis.tv. You lot will go on it and go, oh, Ross hasn't put anything on a website in like a day and a half. He mustn't be working on it. No, he is. He's just making sure that that website stays up and doesn't go down, so you guys can still use what's already on there. It is a bit of a full-time job. So if you're like not technical and you just want to get have a website and just kind of get used to this kind of stuff, then get yourself over to WordPress.com. When I pay someone you trust, you can do your own creative stuff like filming. I have got a few other people. So I do pay. I pay a guy called Hugo down in London who maintains the look of Acts on this. I pay a guy called Boris in Germany, or he travels a lot. Sometimes I'll email him some mountain in India or something. And I've got a guy called Anton in Bulgaria who manages all the server side of stuff. Lee writes all the news articles for me. I do all the interviewing and that kind of stuff. So we have got a small team of people, but you just need more and more finances to build that team. And right now, I mean, Acts on this for me has never really been a business in terms of I want to make loads of money out of it. All the revenue from actonthis.tv goes to charity. It's been for me, it's more of a tool for me to network and meet people myself. That's what I get out of it in terms of I raise my own profile and meet a lot of people through the site. I don't really get monetary kind of gain from it. It's never meant to be that. But yeah, it would need to. I need more people to sign up for premium membership, guys. Basically, the more people sign up for premium membership and support the cause, the more people I can employ, because no one wants to work for free. The more people I can employ to do a lot of those other jobs, so we can get more and more content on the site. Because obviously, I'm slightly restricted to how much time I can spend interviewing people and getting more content on the site. If I'm doing a lot of the admin side of things as well, and obviously, I need time to train people up as well. It's an ongoing process. We're getting there. But Alex has just set a website up. What is it, Alex? Is it some actor's Bible or something? Is hacking still a worry if it's done through a host like Weebly? Yeah, absolutely, mate, but it's not for you to worry about. If you're on a hosted platform like Weebly or Wix or all these other sites that enable you Squarespace to create a site, then it's down to them to deal with all that hacking side of things. But yeah, no website on the planet is safe. When governments are getting hacked, actonthis.tv definitely ain't, not going to be unhackable. It's down to people to maintain them, and really, you have to be on it up to the minute. I have so many alerts set up, so the minute those attacks from Amsterdam were happening yesterday, I'm getting emails and texts on my phone going, look, there's been a spate of 146 attacks in less than 10 minutes. You need to have a look at this. I then have to go into the back end I have to go into the I'm going to just block this person as well who's giving me kisses. Thanks very much. But it's not a real person. I don't mind kisses on Twitter if they're real, but that wasn't real. Yes, I have to then go in the back end, and I look for that server's IP address, which is like their address on the internet, and then I block that IP address from even being able to connect to my server. So when they try and get to actsonthis.tv, they'll just see a white denied page. It's complex, man. Honestly, if I knew what went into web development and hosting a website before I started, I never would have done it. I really, really never would have done it, because there's so much. But it's very rewarding as well when you know there's something online because you've put it there. Effectively, it wouldn't exist without you. But yeah, Alex, don't worry about getting hacked, mate. If you're on Weebly, it can happen, but Weebly will deal with that, and they should have every site on there backed up, so that if anything did happen, they would be able to restore that quite quickly. So I have real-time backups going on actsonthis.tv at all times, literally every minute of the day, because it's what's called a dynamic site, because people can join at any minute, so the content of the site is constantly changing in terms of the user database and etc. It's updating every minute of the day, so that if there was an attack and I lost everything, I mean, that would be devastating. That would be 8 years of work. That's priceless. That's absolutely, I can't put a price on that. Like 3,000 members on there. And 8 years of work, thousands of posts and interviews, and hundreds of hours worth of audio and video. If I lost that, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do. So it's being updated in multiple places at the same time. So that means that what a lot of people do is they back up their own website on the same server that their website's on, which is completely useless, because if the server goes down, then the backup goes down as well. So utterly pointless. So I have backups going on locally in the UK on the server, just in case. I then have them in Ireland as well, and I have them in the States as well. So they're even on different continents, so that if a data center burnt down some stuff, then you know, if a data center went up in flames, then at least it would be still available on this data center in a different country. So it's interesting, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff to think about when you're hosting a website that's commercial, you know, for actually, you know, more than just your own personal website. But we digress there. It's not, you know, super applicable to everybody, but I hope that kind of gives you some insight on what I do on a daily basis. Always have ongoing costs with websites, says Gary. Yes, you definitely do. One-on-one website hosting is brilliant and cheap, says Rich. Yeah, if you just want a, you know, if you say you wanted to self-host WordPress, like I said, WordPress.org, you don't need lots of expensive servers. You can get a server for like £5 a month that would, you know, be more than good enough if you're just hosting your own static website of, you know, you and your acting career, and maybe host your show reel on there and put a few blog posts out. You don't need to go super expensive. The hosting for Acts on this is quite expensive. It's about £150 a month before I have a server manager look at that as well. So it's about £250, £300 a month just to host the site. You don't need to do that at all. You can do that on a fiver a month if you're just doing your own website on a, you know, it's a static website that's not, you know, a big commercial thing. You're one busy boy, Ross. Keep it up. Thank you, Brian. Try to. Update on the vlog on Watch Ross. The next series, well, season 2, is going to start on the 29th of February. If you've not seen season 1 yet, behind the scenes of everything that's going on in my acting career, voiceover career, and life, get yourself over to youtube.com/watchross. I drew the winner of the £150 prize, which was like a random subscriber on New Year's Eve. That was Sandra Rock, an actress from New York. Sent her the money. There will be more prizes for subscribers that I will just draw randomly and either give you cash or a prize to do with your acting career, or maybe just a cool gadget. So if you've not subscribed yet, go over to youtube.com/watchross, subscribe, and every comment you leave on an episode, you can only leave one comment per episode. Don't just go mental and cheat by thinking you can put 100 comments on an episode. But every one comment is a entry into one of those prize draws that I'll be doing like roughly every quarter, which is cool. So what else is going on? I don't just want to keep talking about me. I've got loads of updates, though. I've got a box of Master and Monocle t-shirts down here. You know this clothing line that I'm bringing out? I'll show you. Look at this. Here we go. I don't know if I've shown you these already. Wait a minute. This is one of the first Master and Monocle t-shirts in the country that are going to be available to buy later on this year, like end of January, early February, when I finish jury service, basically. They're so freaking good. These are the best fitting t-shirts I've ever had in my life. And that's been pretty amazing, taking an idea from concept to creation and now hold it in my hand. That's pretty good. You must have got that feeling with your songs on iTunes, Fanny, where it's actually become a real thing. that's pretty amazing to have done that. So we're going to be marketing those quite heavily. That's another thing where Instagram comes in big time. My film has been accepted into the Chicago Film Festival. Who's that, Brian? Nice one, mate. Awesome. Really, really good. Roshi must feel so proud. Yeah, honestly, it's amazing to, that was an industry that me and Sean have gone into. Well, Sean knows a lot about the fashion industry. I mean, look at me. Basically, all I wear is plain T-shirts. I don't. But we wanted to create a T-shirt that we would buy, and now we have done. And it's the highest quality. It's made in the UK. Every part of it, every single thing you see on there, from the label in the back. I don't know if you see that. Oh, there you go. Label in the back to this label to the where is it? Logo here. The embroidery on the back that you can't see because it's all folded up. It is amazing. Really, really cool. They're going to retail at, someone just said, Eloise just said how much. They're going to retail at 40 English pounds in the UK, but they don't come in a plastic bag like this. That's just how we store them from the manufacturer. They come in a beautiful box, all laid out, rolled up beautifully, tissue paper. And also, don't forget, you're actually getting access to something called the Master and Monocle Inner Circle. When you buy one of these as well, there's a code on the back of that label there. You scan with your phone, you get access to a private group, and we'll be hosting quarterly training for people within that group completely for free with big influencers. Not on acting, it's nothing to do with that. Literally just on becoming a better person in all aspects of life, from mindset, physicality, business, health, wealth, happiness. It's going to be a real, tribe of mindful people effectively who just want to become more and more successful. So that's what you're buying into as well. But the t-shirts, going to retail at 40 quid, and then we're going to expand the line down the line to some polo shirts, some knitwear as well, and maybe some caps. Looking at some caps as well. Christ, time management for you will be massive this year. Yeah, it really is, honestly. Well, for me, I'm like, what's really interesting, like before I started doing the vlog, I just had all this stuff like, the live broadcasts and running acts on this. Chris Stone's in the house. All right, Chris. Doing interviews, filming interviews with Chris Stone and stuff like that, where we go out and interview guests, the multi-camera interviews from Media City. I had all that going on. I genuinely thought, this is a little thing for everyone here, because you might be feeling like this now. I genuinely felt I had maxed out my output. I was like, my qualitative output, in terms of putting quality stuff out there, I thought, it's absolutely, at its limit. And then Sean came along and I decided I'd go 50-50 on a clothing brand, and I thought, that is absolutely it now. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. I can't take any more on. And then I decided to vlog full time and decided to have Petch following around with the camera, and then that means I've got a 25-minute vlog to edit every single week, and I'm going to be filming for 2 days of the week. Now, this week when I'm doing jewelry service and I don't have the vlog to do, I feel like, yes, I've been running around crazy today, but I feel almost like, I don't really have a lot to do. So it's amazing how when you take more on, what used to seem so much actually seems perfectly manageable. So my advice for everyone would be stretch yourself a little bit. I think probably until you do break, because you're not going to know your limit until you have actually hit it. And I don't know what would happen if I took something else on top of the vlog. Maybe then when I didn't have that and I just had the vlog, Master and Monocle acts on this and all this, it'd just feel, not as much. It's a bit weird. But I genuinely felt, honest to God, I had hit my limit before I even took on the t-shirts. Oops, dropping my phone. And before I took on the vlog. And now when I don't have the vlog, it feels like, I've got loads of time, loads of stuff to do. Where are you going to be selling them? Says Alex. The t-shirts, Alex, these are going to be sold online on masterandmonocle.com later on this year. I've not developed the website, but they're going to be sold online. The platform we're going to be using for creating the e-commerce site is called Shopify. I would recommend anybody who wants to create an online store. If you're not using Shopify, you're doing yourself a big disservice, because it makes things incredibly easy in terms of people purchasing, shipping, handling, everything. Very, very cool platform. Rich said, run into the court shouting, no, I can't do that, man. And I guarantee, hang the man, and I guarantee you'll be released from jury duty. Interesting one. I can't vlog at the jury service, Chris. It's not down to me. Petch would be vlogging. Technically, he'd be in contempt of court, and he'd be the one who was put in prison. Shopify, Kim. Yeah, that's exactly how you spelled it there. So for those who are listening on the audio experience, shop, and then it's IFY, Shopify. It's the best e-commerce platform on the planet. definitely. And that's hosted as well. So for those who were worried about security and stuff before, that's actually hosted on a secure platform. You don't do the hosting yourself, thus you need no server, etc., etc. It's very, very cool. What's with all these bots on here tonight? I don't know, Alex. There's a load of sex bots on on Twitter and Periscope tonight who are trying to seduce us all. What they're doing is they're copying people's comments on here, and then they're putting kisses on the end of them to try and seduce us all into clicking on their profiles and going through to their sex websites. I'm not buying into it. I don't know about you lot, but I'm not buying into this. These trolls, these sex trolls that are on here. Not doing with that. We used to get trolls, now we have bots. Yeah, no, do you remember? Remember when we first started doing these broadcasts? It was hilarious. One night, no lie, these people who joined us recently, we had 450 trolls on this night. But they were brilliant. They were obviously like 12 years old. They were real. They weren't robots. They were real trolls. And they were saying things to me like, oh, some of the best insults they had was like, is your mum a bin man? They would know. And then when they found out I was an actor, they were like, oh, did you play the wardrobe in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? They were brilliant. And I tried, didn't I? I tried to talk to them properly and say, boys, listen, let me give you a bit of coaching and let me try and help you use your time more efficiently to be more successful in your life so you don't feel like you've got a troll. People who are just trying to have a nice time. But yeah, they've been replaced by the sex bots tonight. Rich says that would be the ultimate pet challenge, getting out of jail. Yeah, no, he wouldn't be able to charge the batteries up, though, so he'd only have about 6 hours of footage, and then he'd be gone. He'd be put down for like 6 months, Rich, and we'd only get to see the first 6 hours of him in prison. Petch's challenge of the week to film jury service. Honestly, it's very, very strict. Like, like I say, I can never talk on here about any cases. I've not been given a case yet, but just in terms of the actual protocol of getting into the building, going through security and scanners and all this kind of stuff, and then when you walk into the courtroom, one thing I thought was really useful about this and why I wanna do it is because I thought I always get seen for roles in acting as as the professionals like coppers, lawyers, doctors, etc. And I've never been in a real courtroom until today, when they show you around, and it's fascinating. I thought, you know what, it'd be useful if I ever ended up having to be in a court scene if I'd actually been in a real courtroom, and it's definitely going to do that. And I want to see a couple of the the defense and the prosecution lawyers in action, see how they hold themselves, see how they talk, their cadence, how they influence people, put their arguments across. I think it's quite valuable. And then, yeah, classic as research, says Chris Stone. We should do a courtroom scene, definitely. I'm sure you've got access to some kind of courtroom location in Stoke. You seem to have access to most locations. We'll do a court scene, man. I was trying to find out why. Anyone know why jurors, not jurors, but the like judges, why do they wear wigs? Anyone know that? And what are they made of? Are they made of like sheep's wool or something? They look like that. It's a scary place when you're on the stand. Have you been on the stand, Rich? Have you been in the dock as the accused, or have you just been like giving evidence? Let us know. I'm always put up for judges, says Fanny. Yeah, it's like there's so many roles, isn't there, as judges and barristers and stuff. It was to shield their identity, says Kim. Oh right, interesting. And to show positions of power like different chefs' hats. Interesting. Chris says, yep, I've got a courtroom location. Knew you had. Let's do some courtroom scenes. And Rich says, giving evidence, not the defendant. Oh, okay, we'll let you off then, Rich. Definitely. Sheep's wool, that was so Alan Partridge. Are they not sheep's wool? I think they bloody look like sheep's wool if they're not. They definitely do. Gary says to disguise themselves, I think, from the old days. Wow, it's so interesting, isn't it? You think they just put a balaclava on? Might be a bit more menacing as well. Definitely. But yeah, it is interesting. I just don't want a long case. That's the only thing. Your jury duty is supposed to be on average 2 weeks, but obviously there are trials that can last, well, years potentially. One guy was telling me today in the taxi, his mate got a trial for 2 years in the Strange Ways riots in the 80s. Strange Ways is a prison we have here in Manchester, and all the prisoners rioted, got up on the roof and started throwing stuff off it for days and days. And one of his friends was on the jury of that trial. Must have been trying so many defendants. And yeah, he got on there for 2 years. That just killed. Well, my life's over, innit? 2 years jury service. That's it. No acts on this. No acts in career. No Ross. No vlog. Nothing. I did a mock trial as a defendant in Miami. That was great. No way. There we go. And yeah, and Kim says you can always just go in and sit in the public gallery. Yeah, if you just want to go and watch. You couldn't work for 2 years? No, you couldn't, Helen, honestly, yeah. I mean, what they do, I mean, they still pay you. When your trial goes over something like 100 days or something like that, the money does go up quite significantly. I think you get about £165 a day if your trial goes over 101 days, or maybe it was 201 days. But if it goes like over a long time, the money goes from like, you know, the pitiful 60 quid or whatever it is, right up to like, you know, 150, 160 quid a day. So if you're doing that for 2 years, imagine if you got like, you know, the Hillsborough case or something like that, you know, or a really high profile case, and you're on that for 18 months. It's a big ask to ask anybody to give up their job for that long. No employer's really going to put up with you taking 2 years off, so they've got to give you some relatively decent money for that. Chris Stone says, today, judges and barristers. He's copied and pasted this from Wikipedia, but let's have a look. He says, will Woney Daddy 6 stop trying to kiss me on Twitter, please? I'm just going to delete you. Blocked you. I nearly blocked you, Caroline Bennett. Sorry about that. I didn't in the end. Today, judges and barristers are required to wear wigs and robes, though a barrister's attire is less ornate. The courts didn't officially add wigs to the legal dress code until the 18th century, when they became culturally chic. Charles Yablon, a professor at Cardozo School of Law, says the wigs and robes melded into courtroom tradition for pretty simple reasons. In short, English judges and barristers began wearing wigs and robes because everybody in polite society was wearing wigs and robes in those days. They continue to wear them because no one has ever told them to stop. All right, there you go. So maybe it was just quite a simple reason they make them wear them, just because everyone else was wearing them, and now they've just never took them off because it makes them feel nice. Oh well, there you go. Cheers for the explanation, Chris Stone. Awesome. Right, what are we on? We're on 49 minutes past. We're going to go for another 6 minutes till we wrap this up. We've definitely not had a open Q&A about the acting industry really tonight, have we? But I still hope it's been a enjoyable little conversation and start to our year. Those wigs are super expensive, says Caroline. I bet they are. All wigs are bloody expensive, aren't they? I remember my mate Rob, Thomas from Downton Abbey. He was telling us about the expense of the wigs they use in Downton Abbey. Thousands of pounds. You know, a decent wig, like a really human hair decent wig, like $5,000. Any more Corrie? No, you know what, Brian? No more Corrie appearances from Dave Dixon, the character I was playing before Christmas. And that's because Corrie's got a bit complex, hasn't it, recently, in terms of people leaving. Shane Ward is now leaving. Obviously, Bruno Langley was made to leave before Christmas. So the whole storyline that I could have been involved with just seems to have kind of like evaporated. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm hoping Katie and Jenny and Joanne will take pity on me, and maybe Martin Sterling, the storyliner, and actually give me some more parts. Well, maybe the same part, but extend the storyline into something else. Fingers crossed. I'm holding out for it, Brian. You never know. Tony Rossi, all the way from Chicago, has joined us for the last 5 minutes from Chi-Town. How are we doing, mate? Hope you are well. Why was he made to leave? Bruno Langley was made to leave, unfortunately, because he got a little bit too leery in a club called Band on the Wall in Manchester and was accused of sexual assault. And he, as far as I know, I mean, I think he was found... Oh, I don't want to say anything, Katie. Well, I'm pretty sure he was found guilty. And he's been made to... Let me have a look, just so I'm saying this factually correct. Don't want to be done for... What is it? Slander. He's definitely left the show, but I don't know if he's had a court hearing yet. It's not great, though. Honestly, as an actor, you've just got to keep your hands to yourself, really, and just realise you ain't above the law, and you can't get absolutely wasted so you don't know what you're doing. You can use alcohol as an excuse, but just don't do it. He pleaded guilty. The 34-year-old who played Todd Grimshaw since 2001 admitted he grabbed a woman's crotch during a night out in Manchester. Grab your own crotch, Bruno, just not other people's, really. Michael Jackson grabbed his own crotch a lot, although there was still accusations he was just grabbing more than his own. But yeah, so he effectively, I think as far as I know, he's on the sex offenders register now, and you know, no TV show in the land is really going to give you a high-profile role and pay you very well if you are on the sex offenders register. Just just calm yourself down. Tony says, hey Ross, I've decided, it went a bit dark for a minute there, didn't it? Let's talk about something a little bit nicer. I've decided I want to start my own podcast. Awesome, we were just talking about this before, Tony. Good on you. I need a better mic. Other than that, no excuses not to start. I'm going to bring on guests and have been inviting people as a way to push myself to start before I'm ready. Definitely would love to have you be a guest as someone who's positive, creative, and a person others would do well to emulate. Hope jury service is going well. I'd love to, Tony. Yeah, be an honour, mate. Let me know. Yeah, you do. Fanny said, does he really go on sex offenders register for that? Yeah, 100%. Any kind of sexual assault claim, you end up on the register for X amount of years. Definitely. I don't have experience with that. I've just read that. I remember reading that. Definitely. But Tony, yeah, definitely, I'd be up for a podcast, mate, 100%, if you want us on. And in terms of microphones for podcasts, I just recommend this that I've got in front of me now. Those who are watching the video can see it. It's called a Rode Podcaster. Rode are my favourite microphone brand on the planet. They're incredibly supportive of what I do. They supply me with all my audio equipment, and it's just top quality. I bought one of these before they even sponsored the website and started giving me them for free. So I'd already spent my own money on their kit. It wasn't just like, here's some kit, say it's good. I genuinely reached out to them for sponsorship once I'd used their stuff. I've just started The Artist's Way again, says Lowry. What's that? The Artist's Way? Is that a book? I'm going to Google that as well, because I've heard of that as well. The Artist's Way. What is this? Yes, it is a book. I knew it was, on Amazon. A course in discovering and recovering your creative self. Awesome. Well, let us know if it's a decent book and whether it's something we should do for book club at some point, Larry. That would be good to know. Speaking of book club, going to be back on Wednesday with a book that I don't know where I've put it. Because I didn't buy it, did I? I'm looking for a book, but of course I didn't buy the book. It's by Justina Vale, wasn't it? And it was called How to Be a Happy Actor. We're going to be looking at that book on Wednesday night. I've got some really good feedback about the first little chapter we looked at on that book. I had 2 emails from people today going, just listen to that on the podcast, and really, really enjoyed it. Again, I'll share my screen with you guys, and I'll show you where you can go and watch that if you're just tuning in or you've never been on one of these before. Let me do that. Here's my web browser. That's how you get access to the premium stuff on Acts on This, by the way. If you go, if you want to join us on Thursday night for the live broadcast with Nikki Bly, go to actsonthis.tv, which is here, and then go on. Well, it depends actually if you've already got a membership. If you've already got a membership, just click on log in basically. Click on log in, and then in the members area you can upgrade, or you'll find links underneath every premium feature where you can click here. It says sign up for a premium membership. Click on that. And then it's going to basically tell you how you do that. You either log in, if you've got a free account, sign in, and then you upgrade to the members area. Or if you've not, hit one of these buttons here, 10 quid a month, 90 quid a year. Fill your details in, takes literally 60 seconds. Boom, you'll be joining us on Thursday night for this live broadcast. And the week after, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, I've got a live broadcast as well with Mickey Jones, the Corrie, EastEnders, Emmerdale, and Hollyoaks director. Such an amazing guy. He's going to be absolutely bloody hilarious. That's going to be the following Thursday. So this Thursday we've got Nikki Bly for all premium members, and then next Thursday we've got Mickey Jones. Again, it's an open mic Q&A where you ask him whatever you like via the internet in the comfort of your own home. But yeah, if you want to watch last week's book club, you'll find it here on the homepage. Just there, it says book club, how to be a happy actor in a challenging business. Click on that. And then you just click play on the YouTube player there, and you'll be able to watch the replay. Or go to iTunes and search for the Acts on This TV audio experience, and you'll find it on there as well. If you just search for Acts on This TV, all one word, you can just listen to the audio. Awesome. Have I missed anything? Speak now or forever hold your whatever. Oh, Mr. Stone as well. Right, yeah. Oh, God. So this is what I mean. I'm losing my mind. So Chris Stone and I hope we'll be able to do this. I'll ring you, Chris, and we'll sort this out. This jury service is really throwing a spanner in the works. We were thinking we're going to do a showreel surgery where we basically live broadcast all about showreels, and we play out 3 people's showreels, and Chris dissects them and tells you what's great about them, what could be changed about them, and just gives out general tips and stuff for making your showreel pop, making it the most impactful it can be. Thinking of doing that this Sunday, aren't we, Chris? Which will be God, I mean, what date is it? The 15th, is it? So, I mean, definitely, I'm getting jury service brain where I don't know what's going on. 14th. Yeah, Sunday the 14th. Is that when we're doing it, Chris, or will we doing the week after, the 21st? I have no idea. Let me know. 14th. 14th. Doesn't look like I've got anything on the 14th. So, me and Chris might be doing showreel surgery on the 14th. Again, over on atsonthis.tv. That will be a broadcast. I think we'll figure out whether that's just a free one for everybody, whether that's a premium one as well. We'll sort that out, Chris. See what we think is going to be best. But yeah, that'll be the 14th. Keep an eye out on the Facebook group for news of that. I hope I'm free and we've got time to do that and we can do that. Even if it's just for an hour, man, we should probably just jump online. We'll play some showreels out, talk about showreels because it's showreel share day next month. And yeah, we'll figure that out. And 14th is Mary Lowe's birthday. Happy birthday for the 14th, Mary Lowe. I hope you have a good one and you spend it on showreel surgery, not going out with your friends or celebrating with your family. Celebrate with us. We're your family now. Right. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thank you for spending this time. I know it's been a little bit mental. We've not really spoke too much about the acting industry tonight, but I hope it's been a laugh. Not blowing smoke here, but Chris cuts my reel. He's the absolute best, said Richard. I highly recommend Chris Stone Films for your reel. I also highly recommend Chris Stone Films, particularly because Chris is going to cut in my Corrie appearance, aren't you, Chris? And then Age Before Beauty, when that comes out in April, you can cut that in for me as well, mate. Happy days. Boom. Love it. Awesome. Kim says, always fun. I hope it has been, Kim. We've had sex robots on here tonight. We spoke about websites, hosting, sex offenders register. It's all been a little bit dirty and dark, hasn't it? But we'll make sure Wednesday night is very, very clean and just all about personal development. Thank you, Rich. Happy birthday for the 14th. Mary, says Chris Stone. Thank you, Alex. Alex, before we go, mate, what is this website you've developed and where can... Let me view it now live online. I'm not even... I feel terrible, mate, but I've not had time to go on it. Tell me the website address and I will show it live online for people now. My favourite, Dark and Dirty, says... Nice to see you. I've been absent for a while, says Caroline. Yeah, you have, Caroline. What have you been doing? Try to do a remake of Gavin and Stacey in Wales. The-actors-bible.com. Right, let me... I'm gonna go on this, Alex, now. See what this is about. At least then I've actually got a clue. Let me see. The-actors-bible.com. Pressure's on. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to the Actors Bible, the essential guide for actors. Keep updated. I can put my email address in there. So let me see what this has to offer, Alex. You better sell it to us now, mate. Why should I join this site? What's on it? The Actors Bible is the essential guide for actors. The best resource for actors who are just starting out in their careers and need the advice and information to get them ahead into the industry. Alex, are you trying to take me on at my own game and compete with atsonthis.tv? Let's see if you are. Let's have a look. Stay updated. What have we got here? CVs. What's a CV? Okay, this is practical knowledge. What is a CV? Why do I need a CV? What goes on an actor's CV? An example of an actor's CV is cheeky Alex. Look at him with his cheeky little face here. No, it's different, he says. Okay, I'll let you off. It's a different website. What's a headshot? Why do we need a headshot? What makes a good headshot? How much do headshots cost? And look at this here. Look at his big face here. Smack bang in the middle of the screen. It's self-promo, Alex, but I love it. An example of a headshot. Who took that? It's a good headshot, man. If it wasn't Tony Blake, sack your photographer. Tony's a good friend of mine, and I think everyone should get the headshots done by Tony. But I actually had that opinion before he was a good friend of mine. Where can I find acting jobs? This is the bloody key, innit, mate? Where do we all find acting jobs? Because they're hard to come by these days. Acting jobs will be found in many places. You can find postings for jobs on social media, casting websites, the company's website, through word of mouth, or from recommendation. What casting sites are out there? Blah, 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 all those. Where's the part that says, what other amazing websites should I join if I want to see more than 400 hours worth of interviews with the biggest names in the industry? atsonthis.tv. Where's that page, Alex? You need to add that one on, definitely. Then we've got Spotlight here, training, audition, show reels, more coming soon. Log in and register. Awesome, man. I'll check it out probably when I've got time. But yeah, support Alex, man. Check it out. See what you think. Give him some pointers if you think there's stuff that's good, stuff that you need to add, stuff that would be useful. Hit him up. That's the-actors-bible.com. So there you go. So don't say I'm not plugging you, Alex, man. This is what I mean. This is what winners do. I don't care if people create websites similar to mine. There's enough success out there for everybody. And also, what I do know is anyone who tries to take me on, I'll crush them anyway. I'm joking. I am building the biggest tower in town for the sake of building the biggest tower in town, as Gary Vaynerchuk says, not by tearing other people's towers down. That is not the way to win. You should always be supportive of other people, just because it's what winners do. People just need to just get over themselves and just stop worrying. It's really funny, actually. A very, very established person in the personal development space saw something that I'd put out on Twitter, and it was based on something that he wrote 2.5 years ago. And to my knowledge, he has never used since, and he went back to using something different to what he put out. And I thought, oh, actually, this work he put out 2.5 years ago really would resonate with my audience. And I didn't know it was proprietary, to be honest. I just thought, I didn't know he'd come up with it. There's a lot of personal development that is like so generic in terms of you can't really reinvent the wheel, can you, when it comes to that? There's certain things that are just universal. And I created a resource based on something that I'd been coached on via his website a couple of years ago. And this guy's a multi-millionaire. I mean, like, so rich, so established. And I put this resource out before Christmas, and I was very, very quickly hit up with a DM on Twitter that basically said, went in very heavy-handed and started quoting international copyright law and infringement and this kind of thing. And I wasn't charging anything for this resource. I genuinely had written it, spent a couple of hours putting it out there for people for free, to help people genuinely. And I went, wow, like all this stuff you coach people on about abundance mindset and how there's enough success out there for everybody and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, man, like you've let me down a little bit here, because I feel like you've bullshitted me for years. Because this stuff you're telling me to do and this mindset that I should cultivate, you obviously haven't got, because you just got massively threatened by one of the really little guys. This guy's doing launches that are 7 figures, multiple 7-figure launches, like, you know, $5-6 million. And I'm here running a website for 10 quid a month. You know what I mean? It was fascinating to go actually how afraid people get of competition so very, very quickly. And I mean, I instantly said, look, I'll take that resource down, forget it, I'll rewrite it, it's fine, I won't use any of your stuff. I had someone stealing my exact improv zines a few weeks ago, my one-liners, exact copies, must have transcribed. It's just funny. I look at like stuff like that as flattery, though. I'm like, you know what, if someone wants to do something that I'm doing, man, I must be doing something right. And I genuinely do believe there is enough out there for everybody. I don't think, I mean, stuff like that, Fanny, that you've written and performed, that's a bit dodgy. But how many times have, you performed, or anyone else on here performed, a scene from a famous film or a famous play, etc.? I think everything's a remix to a certain extent. And I truly believe, something that I love, I don't think you can beat anything that you copy. So anyone can copy me and do whatever they want, and I just know they won't beat me. So I'm more than happy for people to try and do that. But equally, I would just always support people who are doing things that aren't what I'm doing. 100%, because it's just the right thing to do. It doesn't matter. Just like, do the right thing, and doing the right thing is always the right thing. So anybody who creates anything in the arts industry, I will fully support it. Surviving actors, obviously, I'm getting fully behind. Alex, man, I've just shown everybody your website live on air. Anybody who's thinking of doing any podcast, Tony, hit me up. I will be on it. I will promote it for you. I'll send it out to my email list, whatever. Maybe it's a female thing, says Karen. This was a guy who went a little bit mental at me. I just think it's right to credit people. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I did as well. But yeah, no, you should mention people's names and cite those people, as in cite, as in CITE. So this person, this was based on such and such a body, he says this kind of thing, etc., etc. I doubt J.K. Rowling sues people every time they parody Harry Potter. No, exactly, Kim. Because she's a winner. J.K. Rowling is an absolute winner in terms of her mindset, and what she overcame to make Harry Potter this franchise that everybody told her was going to fail. It's about a kid in a boarding school. That's not going to resonate. It's kind of, it's magic. No one likes magic. All these things that were wrong, and look at it, literally the biggest franchise ever, like in the history of mankind. So yeah, I think when you feel threatened by other people in that sense. You're betting against yourself. I'm just like, you know what, it's fine. Come at me. Sometimes I actually enjoy seeing people do things that I'm trying to do because it gives me a kick up the arse to do better, because I think we can all get a bit complacent when we're the only ones doing something and we feel we've conquered or tackled the market. Then we can sit back a little bit. But for me, when I see something or someone trying to do what I'm doing, I'm like, uh-oh, right, better up my game because I've got to absolutely crush this. And that's, you know, that's just me building a bigger thing, not try to tear their thing down. Yeah, so J.K. Rowling, Alex, definitely was denied massively before she got her signing for the first Harry Potter book. So many times. I'm sure there's a lot of videos with J.K. Rowling talking about that on YouTube if you go and have a look. I'd love to interview J.K. Rowling. I think that would be a good one. Very, very good. When I get my own TV show that's basically built upon just reverse engineering success, a bit like John Bishop's show, but better, I would love to interview J.K. Rowling. She'd be an awesome guest. Definitely. Strange to think someone learning my improvised scripts and selling them as their own. Just flattery, Fanny. Take it as, like, you know, if people think they're good enough, flattery, you know, and then you get back to the drawing board and make something even funnier. Go, you know what, you can have all my old material because it's old. It's not as good as my new material. I've got better now. I'll just do that. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. Obviously got some psycho crazy super fans. Right, gonna love you and leave you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Like I say, back on Wednesday night for the book club at 9 p.m. If you haven't subscribed to my vlog, like I say, go and subscribe. youtube.com/WatchRoss. We'll be drawing some more prize winners out over the next sort of quarter or so. Don't know what the prizes are going to be, but they will be big prizes. You know, they'll be like, you know, 150, 200 quid. So go and do that. And I'll be back, Wednesday night for the book club, and then Thursday night we've got this live broadcast with Nikki Bly. So I'm going to leave you with a little video message about the second season of Watch Ross, and you're going to see me in a Master of Monocle t-shirt on this as well. You'll see the fit of them, and you will be able to buy these soon. If anyone wants to buy one before they actually come out, and you just want to PayPal me 40 quid or whatever, send me your address. Hit you up with the first edition before they even hit the internet, because I'll reward you guys for supporting me and like being here at 10 o'clock at night. So here's this video, and you'll see me wearing one of these t-shirts. And I'll see you Wednesday night, guys, 9 p.m. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2018, and you know what that means? It's almost time for the second season of Watch Ross to begin. It's actually going to start on January the 29th, and the reason for that is I'm in court for the next 2 weeks, and that's not because I've done anything bad. It's because I'm on jury service. Now, I was thinking of vlogging from court, but unfortunately, Pet said no, because it could mean he was in contempt of court and he would actually go to prison. So we're not going to do that. Got so many incredible updates to share with you guys in the new season of Watch Ross. Some big things on online business, big things in my acting career, voiceover career, and you might notice I'm wearing one of the very first edition Master and Monocle t-shirts. You're going to find out how you can get your hands on one in episode 1 on the 29th. So get yourself over to youtube.com/WatchRoss, subscribe, catch up on last season, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.